Hello again, YouTube. This is another Lovell Hawes Ask video, and this one is actually deals with everybody's dollars and inflation. It is, why can't this country be on a gold standard? And let me clarify exactly what I mean by that. Is, why can't it be set to where an exact amount of dollars, no matter the circumstances, actually buys 1 ounce of gold? At the moment, it buys $2,000 buys 1 ounce of gold. That is about an $800 increase over 2016, where back when I had a decent job as a CAD technician, it was $1,200 1 ounce of gold. Now, with that being said, if we was to say keep it at $2,000 buys 1 ounce of gold, that means that inflation virtually stops. If you actually look at the inflation rate, it kicks off at a much higher rate when we went to where the Federal Reserve adjusts inflation this way, that way, adjusts interest rates this way and that way. It became really, in my opinion, just plain dumb. But if we were to standardize it, $2,000 buy with 1 ounce of gold, and I honestly think we could actually, in a controlled manner, walk it back. Say $10 a month, so $120 a year. So the next year, it'd be $1,880 buys 1 ounce of gold. And then the year after that, $1,760. And the year after that, $1,640. And keep walking it back and keep walking it back until we get to certain key numbers. And it's like, honestly, I think somewhere between $1,000 and $500 would probably be actually ideal. And to put it in perspective, what that would do for you and your dollar is it stretches it out farther. Your dollar would become more valuable this way. At, say, $500 buys 1 ounce of gold. Well, those $4.20 gas prices, oh, that's a simple case of arithmetic. That is divide by 4. That'd be $1.05. And I actually did a little bit of extra math if we were actually incorporating energy independence, like what was with us during the last administration, at $2.53 a gallon, what it was before all of this happened. That would make it roughly 65 cents a gallon. Unheard of prices that we haven't seen since the 70s and 80s. So, that being with that thought out of the way, it would also stretch your dollar out a lot farther elsewhere. Groceries, the vacation you might be considering taking, just whether or not you'd be able to buy a house, and the only potentially downside to this is that Chevy Cruze that I've still owe $11,000 on. It would, if it actually got to that point, to the $500 per ounce of gold, well, that car would probably be worth maybe $5,000 brand spanking new. But that's okay. By that point, my dollar would stretch farther. I'd be able to put more onto those debts and make the debt go away a little faster. And yes, it would couple with other people's pre-existing debts. It would effectively mean the debt would be worth more. But because your money would be going farther elsewhere, it would mean you'd be able to take care of it easier. You wouldn't have to spend, say, $150 on groceries just to make it a couple weeks. You wouldn't have to spend $40, $50 just to put 10 gallons of gasoline in your car. you wouldn't have, or in the case of where I also have an old 98 S10 pickup truck, that truck of mine has a 15, takes on 15 gallons if I go to the dummy light all the way to full. And at 15 gallons, $4 a gallon, that's $60 down the drain. We work it down to where it's $500, and even with bad energy policies, it'd be $1.05. All of a sudden, I'm looking at $15 to fill up my truck. And a lot of you have trucks similar to my own. I've seen a lot of other S10s out there. I've still seen Ford Rangers, Dodge Dakotas. They are still out there. And a lot of them have these similar, if not identical, gas tanks to the one I've got. So, if you've got $45 more in your pocket because you didn't have to spend it on the gas tank, that's $45 more you can spend elsewhere. And that also means whatever money that you've already got coming in as far as jobs is worth more coming in as well. And I've oversimplified it a little bit on purpose, so that way you can actually see the benefits of this. It's a case of making it so that way people can live on minimum wage. It's not a simple case of raise the minimum wage. It is making it so that way the money is worth more. Printing more money, as has been the thing since, well, pretty much my entire adult life, is not the answer. Another stimulus package, another this, another that, no. Make our money as good as gold. In this case, literally. Make it so that way when you, if you so choose, at the end of a work week, can actually spend that money on, say, 1 week's worth of pay, and you can buy 1, maybe 2 ounces of gold, depending on what you're doing for a living. When I was at Pizza Hut, with all of the overtime I'd average a $600 week check. At $500 for an ounce of gold, it would buy me an ounce of gold. Honestly, if we were on a gold standard, I would on occasion buy gold because somebody's going to probably think this is a horrible idea and take us back off the gold standard and have the Treasury do whatever it's going to do. But whatever the Treasury is doing is dumb. Gold has been a good standard for currency for thousands of years. Gold has been a standard all the way before the days of the Roman Empire. And with rare exceptions, have there been anything worth more than gold and then promptly lose its value? Salt being a good example. Worth your salt. Roman soldiers used to be paid in salt. But gold has stood the test of time all the way down to the days of Babylon. So, $500 buys an ounce of gold. That's where I honestly think we should be. And granted, that means we're going to have to reassess some of our other currency policies. Minimum wage, for example, because obviously a lot of businesses at that point don't need to be able to afford to pay $15 an hour minimum wage because $4 would accomplish the same goal and then some. And thus, that should be adjusted with it. But yet, our money is backed by faith, and we're losing that faith. Saudi Arabia has been toying around with the idea of how they don't want to do any of their oil exchanges in dollars anymore. Russia has just demanded that they have the ruble be what they do their oil deals on. which for them makes sense because it gives their money some sort of value. Their money is going to be worth something. I don't know what it is. It's not worth a lot right now. But at the same time, an ounce of gold is worth an ounce of gold is worth an ounce of gold. When you see the value of the number of dollars it takes to buy an ounce of gold, it's not the gold that's changing in value. It's the money around it. So, why are we not on a gold standard? This must be a thing. And this is going to be one that I'm going to share with everybody who I happen to be friends with on Facebook, as well as Facebook in general. So that way, everybody can stop and think about this for a little bit. Do you want your dollar to be worth less and less and less? I mean, what can you... Dollar Tree doesn't even sell anything at $1 or less anymore, and it hasn't in years. Dollar General, you're gonna be lucky if you find anything in there that's $3 or less in that store anymore. Same with Family Dollar. The dollar stores are not $1 anymore. And it's like whatever you get for $1 is crap. So, why is that? It's because the dollar is not worth hardly anything anymore. And $500 for an ounce of gold would be a good start to me. Honestly, I'd love to see it be $100 an ounce of gold, but that hasn't been seen in a very long time. It would be nice, because at $2,000 an ounce of gold, let's see, that would be divide by 20. So that $4.20 a gallon you just paid on gas, let's see, if we divide that by 20, that would put your gas at less than 50 cents a gallon. And if it was Donald Trump, let's see, that'd be Donald Trump's energy independence policies was 60% less than even what Joe Biden's pushing. So 50 cents a gallon would be stupid expensive, and 60% less than that, let's see, that would drop it about, that put it about 20 some odd cents. Wait a second. Yeah, that'd be about right. 20, 25 cents, somewhere thereabouts. That's just some arithmetic in my head. Wow. And there was once a time where it was worth that. Why can't we do it again? And especially with the resources that this country has, we could couple that with actually using those resources for change and actually make our dollar stretch a whole lot farther. Saudi Arabia wouldn't dare come off the US dollar for its standard for oil exchanges, because they'd be stupid to do so. Going to another country's currency would be dumb. So gold standard the money and walk it down until it seems as though our economy has actually got the dollar stretching far enough. And then leave it there. Because what happens at that point is it's self-adjusting. When the world's economies start going through depression, more people start going to gold, and as a result, because our money would be therefore worth as good as gold, would also be running to our dollar, making our dollar even more valuable. And when times are good and it doesn't matter if it loses a little bit of value, it would actually lose a little bit of value. And it adjusts according to the times. It's a self-adjusting system here. So why did we ever leave it? Because somebody thought it was a good idea, and I firmly disagree with them on that. So, make our money as good as gold again. Put us back on the gold standard again. Standardize our money based on the value, and then adjust how many dollars it takes to get an ounce of gold until it looks like our money is stretching far enough. And for some people, that's not ever going to happen. Because some people just hit on economic bad times. But if $100 buys an ounce of gold, then even a panhandler might eventually have an ounce of gold, and would be able to afford a house. And people who work 60 hours a day, work week, who've worked 84 hours work week like me, will not have to work themselves to death in order to just pay the bills. That should never be a thing, and the gold standard would be one good step along the way. Again, share this with your representatives, share this with the senators, share this with the president, share this with your friends, ask this question yourself, and then let's see if we can get enough people to act upon it. This has been Lovell Hawes. I appreciate your time for this one, as I have with all the others. And I want to thank you, and have a good day.